And get ready in 3, 2, 1, rebuild.
In every rebuild match, the first 20 seconds complete autonomous and pre-programmed robots delivering those fuel as much as possible. 45 Titan Cats quickly delivering that fuel. But one of their teammates, 3487, Red Pride Robotics, able to make their way over to neutral zone, attempting to grab some more fuel from there. 6498 Castle Robotics, able to successfully deliver a couple of fuel for their team, and some bonus from the human player. Pretty close, 13 to 11 in favor of the Blue Alliance. So Red Alliance will get that first Alliance shift. Knowing that, Red Alliance is making their way out to the neutral zone, trying to grab as much fuel as possible, preparing for that shift, which is now theirs. This match is now tele-operated, which means human players have picked up their controllers and driving their robots that their team built during this season. 84-32 making their way over, pushing a couple of fuel into their human player station, the outpost. Their human players grabbing those fuel and preparing to launch them while their hub is active, which is now the case. Blue Alliance hub now active for the next 20 seconds. During this shift, the Blue Alliance can get 1 point for each of their fuel. The Red Alliance, 0. Red Alliance now stocking up the fuel for the next time their hub is active, trying to shuffle as many points into their hopper as possible. That's 45, the Technocats, who's been strolling around the neutral zone. Just under 90 seconds remaining in the match. Blue Alliance about to lose their active hub. It heads over to the Red Alliance. Red Alliance now with their opportunity filled, picking up additional game pieces from the field of play and launching them into the hub. Now, one of those red robots has been stuck on the other side of the trench. They're holding on to quite a volume of fuel, potentially starving the field of its ability to score lots of points during the remaining 60 seconds. Red Alliance running out of time for their shift, now heading back over to the Blue Alliance. Blue Alliance has been diligently picking up game pieces from the neutral zone and storing them onto their alliance. Castle Robotics, 6498, and their teammates, 8431, one of the cyber teams, night teams, working to develop game pieces, delivering those into their hub, closing or accelerating that gap between the Blue and Red Alliances. Last 30 seconds is the end game period. We'll hear that steam whistle sound. Both of those hubs now active. The Red Alliance making use of that time period to deliver a couple more game pieces, trying to tighten up the gap between their two alliances. Neither of these teams quite close to that 100 fuel ranking point threshold, but will continue to make their way and charge additional points for their alliance, trying to be the ultimate winners of this match. Final seconds here, qualification match 40. We'll count them out. This match ends in 3, 2, 1. And that's all for this qualification match. Stick tight to see how those scores total up. Score of 87. The Red Alliance is 54. Neither getting that energized ranking point, but Blue still walking away with 3 for winning the match. All 3 of those teams rising in the ranks. Stick tight for qualification match 41.